Hi guys, Dave in Texas here. What you're looking at is a really nice little Gibson Studio Les Paul. Now, certain things that will be done to this guitar. It's got a little cracked neck. He also put some brand new pickups in here that came without the covers that he wants on them. And I explained to him, well, to solder these properly, you need a higher temperature solder as well as a higher temperature solder gun, which I happen to have. So we're going to put a solder dollop on these, as well as put some flux on there. And we'll be using this high grade solder. Now we're using this solder here, rather than this little tiny spindly stuff here. Whoops, whoopsie. And this real thin stuff here. Okay, that's for this, you know, regular parts, guys, regular parts. So you keep dropping stuff. Okay, so first things first, let's get that brush out of the flux. I think I put it back in the bottle or the tin can. Yep, I sure did. Let's get that out of there. And let goo off of it I put on there. Just a little bit of flux. Okay? And just hit that little edge right there and that right there. And do the same on the other one. If you can't see this, I'll go back and show you here in a second. Put just enough flux on there to get that thing to really adhere. And the trick is to get that soldering gun hot up to its max temp, right? And then apply that solder. Okie dokie. And do it fast because you don't want to do anything to those pickups. Okay, now I've not heard the pickups. I don't know if they're working or not. We said they're working. Alright. Okay, here we go. So let's kind of zoom in there a bit. And let's turn this up to max. And it's 896. That's pretty hot. We'll get this big thick pipe top solder on there to hold these pickup covers in place. We'll go rattling around. Anyway, we also have to do some work on this. Got a cracked neck on it. Got to fix that. It's got a broken nut on it. Got to put a new plastic one back on there. They want to put bone into it. We got to put on some new tuners. Just drill those and screw them in. It's all we have to do those. And then do a regular setup on it for him. Okie dokie. So, I think that's all. Let's see, let's check the ticket. Okay. Solder the humbuckers, neck crack, and tuners. Yep. Wait. And a plastic nut. That's it. So, as soon as this thing starts to heat up, we'll get in business. Okie dokie. So all I've done, I set the guitar on its side as well as the pickups on their side. So when I do this side, nothing's going to drip down into the slot itself. It's going to stay on the top part where I want it to be. And we are finally at temperature. Jeez. Okay, so we're going to heat this up and get it on there fast. Just like that. Let that cool and we'll test it to make sure there's no problems with that, and it's not going to come back off again. Alright, now let's go back to this next one. I want to move it around a bit. Do the very same thing. I want to load it down on one corner of it so that I can get past it. Like that. Wow, that is heavy smoke, guys. Okay, so that's not going to drip down inside the pickups themselves. Alright. Now the trick is to turn it back the other way and do the opposite side so those don't come loose. In the meantime, we'll test these and see how they held up. Ah, perfect. Perfect, those are going nowhere. Alright guys, let me flip this guitar around and aim it down the other side. Okay, so we got it flipped around enough. Now we'll hit these other spots. Like I said, we're going to do it really quick and fast, so nothing's going to drip down inside these pickups, just like that. You put a nice big dollop on that space there. Uh-oh. I want some tape here. Alright, got it. And that way it's fell down on the mat and not inside his pickup when it fell off. That's what I want, right? We don't want it dripping inside the pickup. Let that cool down a bit. Turn this hot mother off, put it back down to normal temperature. Jeez. See, any type of really thin solder and low temperature solder won't hold those pickups very well when they come in and out and you're working with them. But you know, you don't take these in and out like daily. It's not the way it works. But you want those things to hold, okay? Just like that. And those are on there permanently now until you take another really hot gun to them and get them off. Get them off the tops. And they were protected all the time. Okay, so that does that little bit of work. That part's done. Okay. Now we're about to cut away and put these up on supports, but in the meantime I'm going to clean this guitar up because it's got tape marks left on it from the tape I had over the pickups so they wouldn't fall out. Okay guys, now it's time to go ahead and set this up and pre-drill him some holes into his guitar to put his new tuners on with. Now, what I do, you see I'm kind of lined up like little soldiers. And I take this, right like that, just to make sure they're level against each other. Alright. And then I'll tighten those up and I'll check them one more time on the flip side. Make sure it looks good. Okay? Because it is a cockeyed type of thing. With his head shape, goes in and out. So sometimes it looks kind of awkward when we try to line things up. They don't really line up that well. Alright? But we'll do it like they do at Gibson. Okay, now, someone asked me once, Dave, why do you have so many holes in your workbench? Well, it's because I pre-drill, okay? But here we're doing it right now. Do my workbench. Alright, now, I'm going to take one of those new screws. I'm going to put it into that workbench to make sure it's got a good bite to it. Now that's 1/16 drill. Is the smallest one I have right on my hands right now. They do make smaller ones. I've seen them, but they are so brittle, you know, so flimsy they just break so easy. I don't have any right now. We're going to check this out to make sure the 16th will make this guitar work right. And once we get the right size bit, we're going to go and mark it so we don't go too deep into the wood. Okay? And as you can see, that's got a perfect amount of bite to it. Okay? Nice and tight. That's what I want. Alright, so I'll back that off and use it. I'll use that bit. However, before I do that, we will go in front and tighten those all down because they're kind of a little too loose right now for my liking. And I will take some tape, my blue tape, and put a drill depth marker on it so I don't go beyond that. Alright? And of course, when you're drilling on this type of wood, you never just pull it right back out again, guys. You always, always, always use reverse. Okay? And the smart thing to do when you mark these drill bits is use a lot of tape. Make a big, thick buffer so you don't end up pushing it down as you're drilling by mistake and have it come out the other side. It's like, whoopsie. And it's not doing it right now. Okay, hold on a minute. I like that. Okay, so now I've got a little tiny mark right there of drill bit left. I'm going to squeeze it onto that bit to make sure I don't have any problems with it coming upward, because I'm not going to drill a lot, guys. I'm just going to drill a little tiny bit of the hole, let the screw do the rest of the work, right? Because I want to bite into that wood, not just press it away. Okay, so let's cut away while I tighten up the nuts on the front of it and get this thing all lined up. Okay, guys, one more time, because I moved them, right? Lined up, and squared away on this head. Like I said, I know sometimes it looks really awkward the way they get lined up, but this is the best way I know to do it, because of that curvature that's on there. Okay, so those got a nice snug fit to them with the screws up front, the nuts up front. Now we're going to drill 6 little holes. Okay. Alright, I need a better light on this. Put it right back out again. Sorry, put it in reverse, that's what I do. Back out again. Extra side forward. Out again. All right. So there are 6 nice little clean and even holes on the head right now. And now we just need to put screws on it and finish tightening that up. So hang in there. Okay, guys. Well, we got everything done but the cracked neck. Still got to polish this thing up, but the more I look at this, the more I want to do is take a razor, line that up to get a little more depth, shoot it with some super glue, and then black ink over there, black touch-up marker over that. Because at the moment, it's not going any further than I can see unless you just really get in there and put some real pressure on, which means be stupid. But drilling into it, I don't think it's the best idea in this case. The crack's too thin, and it's not deep enough to give me any depth to go in there and do a drill up job on it. Okay, so I need a clear gloss for a finish up touch. Not aged lacquer, not amber, but black lacquer. I need those 2 marking pins, that knife, and that super glue. And what I want to do is draw a perfectly matching line to where my mark goes. Alright? With the glue. Now, to do that, I'm going to have to put it like form a little dam. Use some tape to keep it off the rest of the guitar. Alright? But first things first, go get that line marked in there so I can get some depth to this. Because I can't even pressure it the way it is right now. Alright, so now here's my line for working with. That's giving me a little trough. I mean, it's very thin too, not hardly deep in the wood at all. And I'm not going to go into any other parts of the wood that are in trouble. Oh boy, you didn't see that, did you? Okay, let's do that again. And not push this time. Okay, so do this. To form a little trough. Basically put that glue go in there and not just fall right off. Oh, God. Anyway, let's cut away while we tape that up. And we'll have it setting up like this at an angle so that glue goes straight in that and not all over the body of the guitar. All right, hang in there. Okay, so we got all that resin and that tape off. Now what I've been doing, guys, with this particular guitar, I have it inside my office and then back out in the shop. Inside my office, back out in the shop. I was trying to see that crack was going to expand, do whatever it's going to do. Those different types of heat it's going to go through. Okay? It didn't do anything. It just remained like it was. Alrighty. So, we're going to do that little touch up and glue up on it. And after that, we're going to string her up and put that new nut on there, get that squared away. And that'll be that. So, hang in there. Let's go ahead and finish doing the setup on it. Well, first of all, do the glue up on the neck, then we'll do a setup on it, let the guy play it. Okay, so you see I'm using this copper tape. Now, what I've done in the past with this copper tape, we use it with super glue because the super glue won't penetrate it, won't soak in like with paper tapes, and it has a much better, stickier attack on this poly than it does with, I'll say, electrical tape. You know, another repellent type of tape. Now, the trick is to get it in here, get it on it, and let it soak in, just like that. Alrighty, and there it goes. It's just sucking right into that wood. That void's going right into it. That's what I want to see. And it doesn't take long to set up either. You know, pretty quick. Okay. I think I may need to add a little bit more to it here in a minute. But it goes right down to that wood, so it's just water thin. And no, it doesn't do any good to try to inject it either. It just spills on the outside of the guitar. So one more dollop of this. I'm just using drops, guys, not hardly any at all. Just like that. See how it beads up on that copper? That way it doesn't soak into the guitar's finish. It doesn't travel anywhere. It's right there in a puddle. And it's still able to, form in that hole. That's what I want to see. So I built a trough down here too to have it drip off. I guess I got a little bit wild with it. Alright, well, give that about an hour to 100% setup. Then we'll take some marker pen, anything else left on there, we'll mark that up. And hide the split marks. I don't think there'll be any, but we'll see. Hang in there, guys. Okay, so now I got a dry surface. Get this off there. Let's see how it did. Not too bad. Glue is in the gap. Alright. A little excess there. So that is glued down nice and sharp. Now I get a little sandpaper, a little wet sandpaper, and some coloring, and that will be done. So that worked out pretty good. Now, will that break again if he drops it? Yes, it will. But until then, we don't want to do more damage to it by going in there and being too aggressive to stop it, right? Be kind of silly. Okay. And with the right type of treatment, you know, this thing should last another 10 years and not crack again. So now we got the hole fill, the crack fill, right? And it's starting to cure. It'll cure for another, 2-3 hours. After that, we'll get some wet sandpaper in there, get off the excess glue, and it'll be fine. And we'll hit it with some black colored lacquer from my little black lacquer pen. Right? But and it'll be hard to see it. What we're going to do now is just very gently get off that extra glue by using number 800 water sandpaper. Alright, 800 grit, very, very smooth, and we're just going to take up just a tiny bit off because I didn't put a lot extra on there for that glue, and it did soak in and did fill that crack, so that I'm very pleased with. In the meantime, I gotta get a bottle. I'll soak that paper in like this, and I gotta get some more water because this is really rank and old. So hang in there. Okay, so we got the sandpaper, 800 grit water base, right? And the little water tub, some new water in it. All right, notice how I marked this: cleaner, do not drink. Bad. Best thing I got to hold water for cleaning is this little dual here. And I try to put something stinky in the water, you know, very stinky, so that when they put it to their mouth, their nose will, you know, get a nose hit and go, oh, shouldn't be drinking this shit. But they can't read the label. That's why I put it in regs. I actually had a guy that was trying to drink this stuff. Like, dude, why would you pick that? It's water, isn't it? In a water jug. Yeah, it's not water though. Got cleaner in it. So that's why I put stinky stuff in the water now, or at least some type of ammonia or something in it to keep them from drinking this stuff. And also I keep Pepsis and Cokes around all the time just in case they get thirsty. Isn't that craziness? Okay, so what we're going to do is just barely use that paper to get off that ridge of extra that's on this guitar from the glue up we did on the broken neck. Alright, so here we are, and I gotta get that off there so you won't feel it. Alright, and again, this is not a rebuild, this is just a touch-up. Okay, if I was going to restore this guitar to its former glory, I'll be using different paper to take off a large section of this area here so I could color it up right. But we're just going to take off this old glue to get a good feel, and it's all gone from the top. And then we're going to pencil it in. One thing I need to do is work on his frets with an eraser. There's a lot of wear on these, and it's almost time for recrown. I would say it's right at the point you need to recrown it. But I will clean those up before they go out the door. And I was going to put a new nut on this, but I think I'll leave that alone. I think there should be plenty on that, but we'll see. Okay, it's got to be 22 thousandths above that first fret to be playable, and not get that twangy type of zither type sound, you know, to it when you're playing it, you know. So not tweaking that first fret with those strings. So let's see if that can be saved. You don't have to do anything to it. All right, so we got the new little sheet of paper. It's still 800 grit. And we got just a little tiny bit of excess glue to get off here, and some smoothing to do, and it's right through here. Just don't want to overdo it, take off any more than we have to take off, but I want that to be just right. That's what I want, right like that. That's nice and smooth, yes. Let's just make sure before I put any pen marks to it. Get any type of excess stuff off of it, like that grayish color you just saw. And some of that is going to be the poly finish showing up. And some of it's tape. That's tape right there. And you see that goes away. Alright, and what I want to do is just simply fill in that gray area that the sanding has created. Alright, so it's going to be from right about here up to there on the neck, and definitely fill in that cracked spot there so you don't see that as much. Now, you'll ask me, can you feel it? Yeah, you run your fingernail across it, you'll feel it. But it has been secured, and barring any type of more damage to this guitar, it should be good for a long, long time to come on that little cracked area. Alright, so let's just do this. Just fill that in first of all. And what I'm doing, I'm recoloring all the area that my sandpaper hit. Okay? And spreading that out so we don't see it as much. I may have to go back over that crack a couple of times to make sure that gets in there and hides that. But this is lacquer, so it does do a good job with it. And I may have to sand it down a bit if I get any type of overflow or just a little bit too much on it, you know. That should do it. Let's see if I can hide that just a little bit more, maybe not. The glue's keep me from doing it, but there you go. And for just a retouch or touch-up job, that's not bad. That'll be easy play from now on. No worries about the neck being broken. And go from there. Okay, of course it wasn't broken, it was just barely cracked. But if you put the wrong kind of pressure on it, it did spread. You know, the little crack opened up. That's why I brought it here. Alright? And that's what we're working on. Now, the next thing we do, guys, we gotta get these frets cleaned up, because I skipped that part, it looks like. So I can actually see that schmutz that's on there that I don't want to see on there. Alright, so now we're going to clean up these frets, get that done. And I'll try to get you in a position you can see these a little better than before. Alrighty. Of course, my hand's going to be in the way a lot, guys, but I'm not going to do this a lot and show you what I'm doing as far as, you know, show you each one of these frets I do. I'm just going to show you the before and after I do a few of these things. You can see it nice and shiny again. And it doesn't take much, you know, 5 or 6 swipes with these erasers and it's done. Now, no, it will not take out these indentions that you see in these frets. Okay, so I can show you those. See the indentions, right? It will not take those out. You need a file. Okay. Let's show a few more of these and we'll cut away and go to the next step on setting this guitar up. But pretty much everything else has been done to it. Put the tuners on, fix the pickups, the covers on those have been nicely soldered with some pipe solder, not guitar solder. Hold those in place for a long, long time. Alright. So, let's go to the next step. Okay guys, well I've got it strung up, I got the frets cleaned, I got the pickups, they're soldered down, I got the new tuners put on. I've adjusted everything on this guitar except for the bridge, okay, and the intonation, right? Now, measuring across here, I came up with 441111000. Okay, so it's like way too low. It's got to all come up. There's not one of these things is correct. All right. Now, originally I thought it was going to need a new nut. Well, the nut was worn out, but it isn't. It just needs to be adjusted on the bridge, get this thing back where it belongs, and the neck is perfectly straight now after I fix the crack in it. So, first thing we do, we detune this guitar because we're going to raise it up. a lot. And we don't want to break the strings we just put on it. Especially that E string. Okay, so I'm raising these wheels up using my taped up needle nose, and you see it's moving very, well, all right? And I want to make sure I get way up because it's easier to go back down again with these once you put them up. Okay. Then other way around. Okay, guys, I've raised the bridge up quite a lot. Let's go back and check this and be sure that we haven't gone too far. Mainly, I don't go enough usually. Oh, geez. It's still got to come up some. It is way too low still. I want to get 4/64 on this all the way down and 3. Okay, so I got to raise it up a little bit more, 1/64 all the way across the level. So I got to detune it again, guys. Believe it or not, here we go. So I got to detune it again. See if we're good on all spots on this neck. So they're at 4/64, 4/64, 4, 4, 3, 3. That's where we want to be on this, guys. Make sure there's no fret buzzing going on. And we're good down the neck too. So this thing's in good shape as far as the action is concerned right now. And the next thing to do, give these strings a chance to stretch out and get them adjusted. Then we'll intonate it. We'll finish polishing it up for the guy, get all his tape marks off of it. And we'll be ready to rock and roll with this little studio. Okie dokie. Hi guys, Dave in Texas, and what we're looking at is the work of the little Les Paul studio. Just got through fixing it. Tell us what you think about the guitar, dude.
Well, I love it. Got brand new Grovers installed. Pretty much, I've got these parts off eBay off of '93 Gibson, and this is a 1994 Gibson Les Paul studio. So I was lucky to find these, and then I got brand new Seymour Duncan humbucker covers under these Slash signature Seymour Duncans. And yeah, I just wanted to get it all set up. Thought I could tackle the project by myself, but it was way too much to give it a try.
Tell us about yourself.
My name's Chris. I'm love music, love live music. Been really searching for a Les Paul studio for a while. Found this one on Craigslist, and price was right, so decided to go into it. And it had gold hardware. Absolutely hated the gold hardware, so just did all the replacing. Left some parts on there, but we're getting there. And pretty much just wanted to be able to play it.
Go ahead, let's hear your guitar. Why don't you play on clean channel and hear what it sounds like.
Sounds really good.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and put it on the crazy sounds.
All right. Yeah, that's
Yeah, put on the bottom. Yeah, pick it all the way down. Yeah, now play it. Cool, cool.
Really yeah.
I think it sounds pretty damn good, don't you?
It does.
Okay. All right. Well, Dave in Texas, any questions, guys? Give me a holler. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.